What if a group of ordinary thieves stole millions of dollars without firing a single bullet? Fernando Araujo isn't a violent criminal, he's an artist. But behind the innocent smile is one of the smartest masterminds Argentina has ever seen. One day, he gathers a small team of experienced thieves. Not to rob a jewelry store, not to rob a casino, but to pull off the biggest bank robbery in the country's history. Their target, a heavily guarded bank holding millions in cash. The plan sounds completely impossible, but Fernando keeps smiling, because he already knows something that nobody else does. The robbery begins. Customers are trapped inside. Police surround the entire building, and suddenly, everything goes exactly according to Fernando's plan. Inside the bank, everything appears surprisingly calm. And like most robberies, nobody is screaming, nobody is being beaten. Fernando Araujo walks through the lobby as if everything is under complete control. His only rule is simple: no one gets hurt. The frightened customers and employees are ordered to sit together while the robbers carefully separate everyone from the safety deposit area. Every member of the crew already knows exactly what they have to do. Nobody wastes a second. Outside, police cars begin surrounding the Banco Rio branch from every direction. Within minutes, the entire neighborhood is locked down. Armed officers take positions behind their vehicles while snipers move onto nearby rooftops. News helicopters arrive above the building, broadcasting live images across Argentina to everyone watching. It looks like the robbers have made a huge mistake. The police believe the gang is trapped inside the bank with nowhere to escape. Chief negotiator Miguel Siglo arrives at the scene and immediately begins studying the situation. Unlike the other officers, he doesn't rush. He knows that after previous deadly bank robberies, one wrong decision could cost innocent lives. Instead of ordering an assault, he opens communication with the robbers. Fernando calmly answers the phone. His voice never shakes. He demands time and insists that nobody inside the bank will be harmed as long as the police stay back. While the negotiations continue, something unusual starts happening inside the bank. The robbers show almost no interest in the cash stacked behind the teller counters. Instead, they head straight toward the vault area containing hundreds of private safety deposit boxes. Each box belongs to wealthy customers who have stored cash, jewelry, gold, expensive watches, and priceless valuables. The crew begins opening the boxes one after another with incredible speed. Large bags are quickly filled with valuables worth millions of dollars. Every movement follows a plan that had been prepared long before the robbery even began. Months of preparation are finally paying off. Meanwhile, the hostages slowly begin realizing these robbers are very different from ordinary criminals. One robber even speaks politely to them. Another reassures an elderly hostage that nobody intends to hurt anyone. The strange behavior leaves everyone confused. Outside, television reporters continue describing the robbery as if the police have complete control. The officers become more confident with every passing minute. They believe the longer the robbers remain inside, the easier it will be to arrest them, but Fernando had predicted exactly that. Every extra minute inside the bank is actually helping his plan move forward. And known to the police, the robbery was never about escaping through the front door. Hidden deep inside the building, another part of the operation is already underway. While negotiators focus all their attention on Fernando's phone calls, the crew continues working in complete secrecy, knowing that every second brings them closer to completing one of the most carefully planned robberies in Argentina's history. Outside the bank, hundreds of armed police officers surround the entire building. Snipers take their positions. News helicopters broadcast everything live. To everyone watching, the robbers seem completely trapped. But inside, Fernando isn't worried at all. While the police focus on the front entrance, his crew quietly keeps working inside the vault. Every passing minute brings them closer to something far bigger than money. The officers believe they're winning. Fernando knows. They're playing exactly the game he planned months ago. While the police continue focusing on the front entrance, the real operation is taking place beneath the bank. Fernando's team has absolutely no interest in fighting the police. Every second inside the building has already been calculated months in advance. Down in the basement, the robbers move from one safety deposit box to another with incredible precision. Cash, gold bars, expensive jewelry, rare watches, anything valuable is packed into large bags as quickly as possible. This is the real target of the robbery. The money behind the teller counters means almost nothing compared to what is hidden inside the private vaults. Upstairs, Luis Vitek continues talking to the police negotiator. His calm voice creates the illusion that the gang is running out of options. To build even more trust, the robbers release the bank's security guard in harm. The message is clear: they are not interested in killing anyone. Outside, the police take this as a positive sign. Negotiators become convinced that time is on their side. But Fernando wanted them to think exactly that. Every extra minute gives his crew more time to empty the deposit boxes. Hidden behind a storage room in the basement, the final stage of the escape plan begins. A concealed opening leads directly into a tunnel that had been secretly prepared long before the robbery. The tunnel connects to the city's storm drain system. No one outside the bank even suspects it exists. One by one, heavy bags filled with cash, jewelry, and gold are lowered into the passage. Inside the tunnel, another member of the team waits patiently to receive every bag. The work is slow, but perfectly organized. Back upstairs, the hostages remain surprisingly calm. Some even begin talking with the robbers, realizing these men are following strict rules. Fernando repeatedly reminds his crew that nobody is allowed to hurt a hostage unless there is absolutely no other choice. Meanwhile, police commanders start discussing whether they should send tactical units into the building, but the negotiator refuses. He fears that a forced assault could put dozens of innocent lives at risk. Exactly as Fernando predicted, the police choose patience instead of action. Deep below the bank, the last bags disappear into the tunnel. The robbers carefully clean the area where they entered, making sure almost nothing will reveal the hidden escape route. Hour after hour, the negotiations continue. Outside, hundreds of officers wait for the perfect moment to storm the bank. Inside, Fernando stays unbelievably calm. His crew quietly finish loading the last bags of cash, gold, and jewelry into the hidden tunnel. Nobody outside notices a thing. The police think they're running out of time, but Fernando knows the opposite is true. His entire escape depends on one final step. If it works, this robbery will make history. As the final bags disappear into the tunnel, Fernando quietly checks the time. Everything is moving exactly according to the original plan. Above them, the police continue surrounding the bank, completely convinced that the robbers are still trapped inside. Inside the lobby, the negotiations continue without raising any suspicion. Luis keeps talking calmly with the police negotiator, asking for vehicles, safe passage, and more time. Every request is simply another way to delay the police. Meanwhile, underground, the team keeps moving the stolen valuables through the narrow tunnel. The work is exhausting. The bags are extremely heavy, filled with cash, expensive jewelry, gold, and other valuables collected from hundreds of safety deposit boxes. Still, no one complains. They know they are only minutes away from completing a robbery that had taken months to prepare. Back inside the bank, the atmosphere becomes strangely peaceful. Some hostages begin whispering to each other. Others cannot understand why the robbers aren't acting violently. Fernando walks through the lobby, reminding his crew once again to stay calm and avoid unnecessary panic. Outside, police commanders begin losing patience. Several tactical officers suggest storming the building before the robbers destroy evidence or hurt the hostages, but the negotiator refuses. He believes that as long as communication continues, there is still a chance to end everything peacefully. That single decision gives Fernando exactly what he needs. Down inside the tunnel, the last of the stolen bags finally reaches the exit point. Waiting outside is another vehicle that has been carefully prepared in advance. One by one, every bag is loaded without attracting attention. Back inside the bank, the robbers begin removing anything that could expose the tunnel entrance. Loose tools are collected, equipment is hidden. The floor is quickly cleaned so nothing immediately looks suspicious. To anyone entering the basement later, it would appear almost untouched. Fernando looks around one final time. Every member of the crew quietly takes position for the last phase of the operation. Outside, television reporters continue telling viewers that the police have the situation under control. The crowd watching from behind the barricades believes the robbers have no chance of escaping. No one realizes the money is already far away from the bank. The officers prepare themselves for what they think will be the final confrontation. Inside, Fernando exchanges a brief look with his team. Without saying much, everyone understands the next few minutes will decide whether months of planning become the greatest bank robbery in Argentina's history, or end with every one of them behind bars. After hours of negotiations, everyone outside believes the robbery is about to end. Police tactical teams prepare to enter the bank. Snipers lock onto every entrance. Helicopters continue circling above. Inside, Fernando gives his crew one final signal. Every stolen bag is already gone. The tunnel has been cleared. Now only one challenge remains: leaving the bank without revealing the truth. The entire country is watching live. One single mistake, and months of planning will collapse in seconds. Inside the bank, Fernando quietly gives the final signal. Every member of the crew immediately knows what to do. The robbery is over. The valuables have already been moved through the hidden tunnel, and there is nothing left inside the vault worth risking their lives for. The robbers calmly gather together, making sure no evidence is left behind that could immediately expose how they escaped. Outside, the police believe the operation is reaching its final moments. Special tactical units prepare to enter the building. Armored vehicles move closer to the entrance while television cameras continue broadcasting every second live across the country. Negotiators make one final attempt to convince the robbers to surrender peacefully. But inside the bank, no one answers. The silence makes the officers believe something has gone terribly wrong. Within moments, the order is finally given. The tactical team storms the bank. Room after room is cleared with extreme caution. Hostages are quickly secured and escorted outside. To everyone's surprise, every hostage is alive. Not a single civilian has been executed. The officers continue searching every floor, expecting a final gunfight. Instead, they find something completely unexpected. The robbers are gone. No broken windows, no damaged exits, no vehicles leaving the front of the bank. It is as if the entire gang simply disappeared into thin air. Investigators immediately begin searching every corner of the building. As they inspect the basement more carefully, they finally discover the hidden tunnel. Only then does everyone realize what had really happened. While thousands of police officers surrounded the bank from every direction, the robbers had escaped beneath their feet. By the time the tunnel is discovered, it is already far too late. The stolen valuables have long since been transported away from the scene. Across Argentina, the story dominates every newspaper and television channel. People are stunned by the level of planning behind the robbery. Some call it the most intelligent bank robbery in the country's history. Others cannot believe that such a massive operation was completed without a violent shootout inside the bank. The investigation continues for months. Detectives slowly reconstruct the plan, uncovering how carefully every detail had been prepared before the robbery ever began. Eventually, members of the gang are identified and arrested. Fernando Araujo and several others are brought to trial for their roles in the robbery. Although they face legal consequences, the robbery itself becomes legendary. The operation earns worldwide attention because it relied far more on planning, patience, and deception than on violence. Instead of becoming famous for bloodshed, it becomes famous for intelligence. Even years later, people continue discussing how a small group of thieves managed to fool hundreds of police officers, deceive an entire nation watching live on television, and carry out one of the most unforgettable bank robberies ever recorded.